Good morning. How are you? All good. How's the preparation? Good? Average? Not so good? So actually, there was supposed to be a session tomorrow, but I wanted to give an introduction to this program. At the same time, I also wanted to resolve the queries. Some of you had some queries related to the program itself, as to how it would run and how you are supposed to make changes to whatever preparation you are making as of now. Okay. So yes. So this is a program which is going to run for a long time, and it's going to be a very intense program. And one thing you can be assured of, if you do not miss any of the tests, one thing you can be assured of is you will be much more knowledgeable by the time you complete the series. That is one key takeaway. The second one is going to be that you are going to master the knack of solving the questions within a stipulated time period. This is the second thing. And whether you will be able to get through or not is going to be dependent on the consistency and how you carve your road all throughout. And there are very minimal things that you need to do all throughout. Minimal number of things. Not too many things. If you try to do too many things, it's going to become much more complicated. Okay. So how many of you have already completed the core subjects? All the core subjects, one reading. All the core subjects. When I say core subjects, you know what are the core subjects? What are the core subjects? So first comes polity. Why polity first? So it's one thing about the weightage, the other thing is about the source. So you know for sure the questions are going to come. How many questions are going to come from the Lakshmikant textbook on an average? There would be somewhere around 17-18 questions every year, right? Probably last year it was around 14-15. So on an average, you are going to get somewhere around 80% of the questions from the same book. Rest of the stuff will be from your current affairs. So for polity is the first core. 2, which is the second one? Economy. By the way, do you have Indian economy in your syllabus or economics in your syllabus? Indian economy in your syllabus. So do you have to learn microeconomics as well? Yes? No?
Basics.
So you just have to know the definitions. Mostly the definitions are sufficient in microeconomics, and you're going to get 1 or 2 questions from microeconomics. And there was a case where I think it was 2-3 years ago, while everybody had studied microeconomics, okay, they gave one question from the accounts textbook. That also happens. Okay, why? Because UPSC just has prescribed the syllabus. It has not told which standard book to refer to. Okay, we have made them standard books. UPSC has not made them standard books. You can consider yourself to be fortunate because UPSC also considers this book as kind of standard itself. Okay, because it picks statements directly from there. It does not pick the statements from Constitution. It picks the statements from here. Now, second core is economy. How many questions do you get every year from Indian economy? 13 to 15, 16 questions you get. How many of them are solvable by just studying the book? So here, we told you 14, 15 means 80%. 18% would be 12, right? 12 questions. And how many here? 8? Okay. 8 questions. We'll go with 8. Which is the next subject? Geography. How many questions do you get? Leave aside map-based questions. Let's leave aside map-based questions. So if we leave aside the map-based questions, how many geography questions are you going to get? So 10 to 12, somewhere around 14 questions you get. Map-based questions, 5 questions you are going to get, 3, 4, 5, it depends. So 14, 15 questions. Out of them, how many are solvable with the textbook only? Your guess? So 9 questions, maybe 9 to 10 questions. Let's go with the conservative number 9. 3 subjects are done. Which is the next core? History. History mein, this is where we have to be a bit careful. Okay. That is the lengthiest subject. Why? Because you have modern history, medieval history, ancient history, and then you have art and culture as well, which comes with it. Now, all the 4 put together, earlier it was pretty easy. Previously, what used to happen is, there was a time when you used to get most of the questions from modern history. Very few questions here and there from ancient India, and medieval India was, not even there. Okay. And then there was a shift that happened. What they did is, they stopped asking questions from ancient India, made a shift to medieval India. Okay. Many questions started coming in medieval India. That was only for 3 to 4 years. And then modern history retained its forte. Okay. From modern history, you had a guarantee that these many questions will come. And then that also changed, where ancient medieval took most of the weight. Modern history was sidelined. Even as people started sidelining modern history, UPSC threw a bouncer like, modern history I will ask. Now, given this scenario, one thing we can do about this is, modern history, because it is there for both your prelims and mains, let's ensure that modern history we are going to pay maximum attention, give maximum weightage to it. Okay. So modern history, how many questions do they ask? 2 questions were there in 1 year. Even that classification forcefully we have to do, that it belongs to modern history. But let's go with a number like 4 or 5 questions. 4 questions, we'll go with it. And here also, you can be selective as to how you, give the importance for the areas. So one area is from 1707. So modern history starts from 1707. Some people say it starts from 1600, right? So, but we'll go with 1707. 1707 to 1857 is one period. So 1707 to 1857 and 1857 to what? 1947. Here also you can split it. 1707 to 1750, right? Till 1750. So 1707 to 1750. Why I am making this classification? Then again 1750 to 1857. 1857 to 1947. Why I have made this classification is because this part is not there for your mains examination. This part. For the mains examination, it starts from here. Right? So our preparation also should be on such lines that whenever we are going into the details of the names and people and everything, we'll do it here. Okay? In this area, we need not worry much about what? About the details of, the people, right? Not too many intricate details are needed in this area. Here, again, yes, we would be requiring. Okay, you have the socio-religious reform movements. For some of the people, it is the most difficult area. Kind of, it is like, it comes in the middle, ruins everything. No, we are going in a story, everything seems good, and it comes in between and ruins the story. That is why what you can do is study all the other chapters, leave socio-religious reform movements towards the end. Study it separately, right? So that there is that flow. It creates a flow. So whenever you have something which feels like it is unrelated, for you it should feel it. So if you feel it is unrelated, skip that part, study the rest of the stuff, come back to the skip part later on. This is what you can do. The next area is ancient. How many questions? So ancient, medieval. How many questions do you get in ancient? Huh? 4 questions. Let's go with a conservative number, 2 itself. So I would say 3. As of now, it would be 3. And then medieval history, 2. 2. And art and culture. Art and culture. How many questions? 3 to 4 questions would be there. 3 questions. Now, this forms the core. Environment was the core. As of now, environment cannot be considered the core. Why? Because the dynamics is too much. So still, if you want to consider environment as core, how many questions can you solve from what you study from the books? 5 to 6 questions. Presently, that's how it is. Okay, 5 to 6 questions. This much is there. Now count the number of questions. How many are there? 9, 9 plus 2, 11, 11, 14, 14, 18, 18 plus 9, 27, 27 plus 8, 35, 35 plus 12. How much is it? Okay. I'm talking only about core subjects. I have not included anything from current affairs. I have not included anything from what? Science and technology, international relations, nothing. Getting my point? So, out of 47 questions, only the core subjects. Even if we get how many right? How many should we get right? Let's say we get only 35 to 38 right. This should be our target. You have to be sure about this 35 to 38 questions. 35 to 40 questions, if you are very sure, I think you will be able to get through pretty easily. For this to happen, these are the areas you need to cover. Okay, Indian economy. Sir, what to study in Indian economy? For some it is difficult, for some it is easy. So Indian economy is like, from the book itself you can answer these many questions. And where are these questions coming from? From the book. The chapter 1 to chapter 10, 11. Right? Which are the chapter 1 to chapter 11? Money and banking, national income accounting, monetary policy, fiscal policy, taxation, and then inflation, national income accounting, right? And then you have external sector, 2 chapters. And then you have financial markets. So these chapters, which are like concept based, from the concept based area itself, you are able to get these many right. So this is about the core. Now, our focus will be mostly on the tests which are going to run on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 days. And you're going to get a break on Saturday. And then you're going to have the test again on Sunday. So, Monday you are free. Okay, Monday you are free. Today you will be free. I will discuss tomorrow's targets in a while. Okay, what are tomorrow's targets? As in tomorrow's test targets, as to what you need to study today. I'll give you an idea as to how to study today's topics. Accordingly, every day, so Monday, you are free in the sense you don't have a test. No test day it is. Tuesday, you're going to have a test. Wednesday, same. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And Sunday, you're going to have a test. This is a free day. There is no test on this day. So rest of the days you have the tests. Now, how do we do the briefing? So previously what we used to do in this program was that we used to do the briefing after the test was conducted. So test is done. After that we have a discussion. Now what we are doing is that if you have the test tomorrow, The briefing will be done today. The briefing about what? Tomorrow's topics. That is whatever you are going to get in the tomorrow's test, today's targets. We are going to do the briefing today. The faculty will have a beforehand knowledge of the question paper. Okay, which is the test you have tomorrow? Indian economy. The faculty will have the beforehand knowledge of the test papers, and the faculty will discuss in the class the important areas, core areas of tomorrow's targets, so that you will feel comfortable to go and attend the test, and you can get all the doubts clarified related to those topics in the class itself. So Monday there is no test. Monday, while there is no test, you have a briefing. There is no test, but there's going to be a briefing. Tuesday, after the test, we are going to have a briefing for the next day, right? You have a briefing here as well. Wednesday, you have briefing. Thursday, you have briefing. Friday, do you need a briefing? Not required. Saturday, no briefing. Sunday, no briefing. Clear? Yes? So, those people who have chosen the offline mode, ensure that you come to the offline tests itself. It just gives you that discipline, which is very, very important. Do not miss any tests. Scores do not matter. Scores really do not matter. Even if you score out of 100, no? Daily test 100, out of 100. What score is acceptable? What score is acceptable? If your starting point is this, if your starting point is 20 or even 15, do not worry about it. I'm telling you, do not worry about it. It is going to be a gradual improvement. It's going to be a very gradual improvement. Do not think about the scores. Ensure basic things are done for sure. So what are the basic things that we need to do? Say, tomorrow I have, what are the topics for tomorrow's test? So basic concepts. So basically you have national income accounting and introduction, correct? Money and banking, inflation, poverty, unemployment. Next.
One is from the standard book and the same topics is from NCR.
No, these are the same topics. It is the same topic. That's all. Only this much. Only this much for tomorrow. Are you sure? That's it. So, it feels like it ended even before it started. Right? So the targets are too little in which ways. So probably it is the starting, that is why. Okay. What we are supposed to do when we have the targets? First and the foremost thing you need to do is set the priority. So the briefing session will help you do that. They'll set the priority. Why priorities should be set? See, we need motivation for us to engage in activities. Any activity, we need some motivation. If we need that motivation, there has to be some result, positive result. If we don't get that positive result, at least internally, not on paper, internally you should feel that, okay, I have done something and it is paying off. I have worked, it has paid off. That very feeling is sufficient for you to be motivated to prepare or study more. Yes or no? If you want to come to that position, what you are supposed to do is, the moment we set a priority, you tell me out of these chapters, based on the knowledge you have as of now, which is the most important chapter? Money, banking, inflation, national income accounting, poverty, unemployment. Where do you get maximum questions from? Where have you gotten the maximum questions from in the last 10 years? So any one you have to choose. Money and banking? Yes, it is money and banking. Priority 1, it is set. 2, inflation. 3, national income accounting. 4, poverty and unemployment. Now, how many chapters can we study in a day if I have, because some of the students have the classes as well. Okay, let's go with a practical, amount of time. I only have, are the classes done for this? If the classes are done, have you done one revision after the class? You have gone through the, notes as well. Now, if you have done that much, how many hours would you require to just revise these parts? One chapter revision. I don't think it would take more than 1.5 hours. Yes, 1.5 hours. So, if a person has only 3 hours of time after the classes, a person has only 3 hours time, let's go with that. So, morning probably 1 hour, evening 2 hours. Apart from that, on that day, whatever has been done in the class, they have to revise that as well. So, probably 45 minutes, 1 hour, they spend on just, skimming through the pages of what has been done on that day. So, 3 hours we'll go with. In 3 hours, for sure, you will be able to cover 1, 2, and a cursory reading of this page, this particular chapter. 3 most important chapter. Out of these, 2 I have mastered, 1 I have not mastered. What about the 4th chapter? I have not even touched. This is what you are supposed to do. Don't touch the 4th chapter. If there are 8 chapters, out of 8 chapters, first prioritize. After prioritizing, whichever chapters are not of, very great importance, leave it if you don't have time. Your target for the next day is that when I take the test, out of 50 questions, there are 25 questions or 30 questions related to these 3 chapters. Rest 20 questions, they have given it from poverty and unemployment. Don't worry. You are taking the test only for 30 questions now. You are not taking the test for 50 questions. Getting my point? I am taking the test for 30 questions because the questions have come from these 3 chapters out of 30 questions. How many should I ensure I get right? Right? I should ensure that from these 2 chapters, 80 to 90% of my questions answers are correct. Right? From national income accounting, I have made several mistakes. It's fine because I have just given a cursory reading. From poverty and unemployment, I have tried to answer, I have gotten everything wrong. It's fine because you have not prepared. This should be the mindset while you give a test. Sir, what about these 2 chapters then, sir? They are gone with the wind. No. You are going to have time again. The mistake we commit is that trying to cover all the topics now itself. When we try to cover all the topics now itself, it's like the government does it. What? Spreading the resources too wide, too thin. So what is spreading the resources too wide, too thin? The government has only 1 lakh crore rupees. Let's assume it has only 1 lakh crore rupees. 1 lakh crore rupees is sufficient for probably the field of education and health, because these are priority areas. Only that much is there with the government. What will the government do? No. The others will feel bad. Other sectors will feel bad. I'll spend this 1 lakh crore on what? Education, health, sanitation, poverty alleviation, everything I will spend. Every sector will get thoda, 2 crore, 3 crore, 10 crore allocation, 20 crore allocation, 100 crore allocation, which is not sufficient even for a single sector. And whenever the allocations are lesser, right, the government monitoring will also be weaker. See, whenever you make a very big allocation, whenever you make a very big investment, don't you care about it more? Yes? So when we make a smaller investment, see, you bought for 10 rupees some item, 1000 rupees you bought one item. Which one will you take good care of? The 1000 rupees item. It is pretty obvious. So what we are supposed to do is, the resource we have is time. Let's allocate it properly. It is limited. We'll allocate it in a very efficient manner so that it gives us the return. Understood? For the people who have completed the syllabus already, for them, there is no excuse. You don't have an excuse. No excuse as in, you have to cover these 4 chapters for tomorrow. You can't just hide behind, sir, 4 chapters I was able to complete only 2. No, that's unacceptable. Understood? So at least 3 you have to master and come. 3 areas you have to master and come. Clear? Done. Overall, how many tests do you have in this program? Overall, any idea? Have you counted? 120. So 100 plus tests are there. How many questions would you be solving? Huh? On an average, let's take on an average. So we'll apply the same thumb rule to all the weeks that are going to come. So thumb rule is that weekly you have 4 days test, which is 50 questions each. Weekend, how many tests do you have? 1 test initially, later on it's going to be 2. So let's take an average of 150 questions every weekend. So 50 into 4, 200 plus 150. How much is it? 350 questions every week. How many weeks do you have? How many weeks? 4 3s are 12, 4 4s are 16, 16, almost 16 weeks. 350 into 16 weeks. How much is it? 3,500? Yes, plus 1,750 plus half of it. What is half of it? 1,750, right? Correct? Half of it? Not half of it, one part of it. 350, right? That's 350. 6, 13, 16. 5, 6, huh? Okay, sorry. 5600. 5,600 questions. That's immense. Now, if you have a doubt, like, sir, no sir, I want to take more tests. I'm just saying, if you feel like it, if you feel like taking more tests, no sir, I don't want to take risk, I want to solve other papers as well. Maybe other institutes' papers are there, they are available, I want to solve them. What I would say is, run with these tests in a time-bound manner. You take the test, after that you do the analysis. So test, soon after the test, you do the analysis. Now, what is analysis? And how much time I need to spend on analysis? Usually, we make this mistake in analysis. After the test, we give a test, we make this mistake that a question number 1, I have gotten it right. Question number 2, I have gotten it wrong. Question number 3, I have gotten it right. How did I get the question 1 right? So I check the answer keys. Basically, I check the answer keys. Question number 1, I got it right, happy. Question number 2, I got it wrong. So you feel a bit bad. This one, you read the explanation, correct? You read the explanation and delve into why I made this mistake, why I committed this mistake. This is what we do. And the good thing is, whenever you commit a mistake, your knowledge base keeps on expanding. Why? Because we are reading through the explanation. Now the third question on the other hand, see, you knew the concepts and got question 1 right. Question number 3, aisa nahi tha. Question number 3, you got it right out of sheer luck. Sheer luck kya tha? Akbar, Shahjahan, other 2 people names were given. You're like, feels like Shahjahan, marked it. And that's right. You are very happy. You check the answer key, it is right. Now do you bother to go into the explanation? So many times what we do is we skip this part. We skip this part rather than skipping subconsciously. You feel like, I got it right, no? You do not pay enough attention. Now, what I am suggesting you to do is, irrespective of what is right and what is wrong, read the entire explanation of each and every question. 50 questions to solve, you have 1 hour. You have 1 hour to solve 50 questions. How much time do you have to spend on just analyzing it? I would say somewhere around 30 to 45 minutes to read through it. When you are spending 30 to 45 minutes just to read through it, at that point you will also come across, these are the questions I have committed the mistake. Then you will go into the details of the statements as well. Understood? So this is what we do soon after the test. Analysis should be on each question, not the only questions you have committed mistakes in. Done? Clear? This is part 1 after the test. Part 2. Today's test is done. I have done the analysis. I found that out of 50, out of 100, I got 10. Not a good place to be in. Yes? But you also have to understand, you have learnt a lot because you have committed those many mistakes. The knowledge base expands initially when you commit more mistakes. Because you will be very, very curious to know as to why you got such less marks. People who score very well, you also have to go through each and every explanation. Because the explanations that are provided are going to be beyond the textbooks. So whatever knowledge gaps are there, the extra knowledge that you require, you are going to get it from the explanations. Clear? After the test, what will you do? What is the first thing that you do when you want to start studying? Let's say for tomorrow you have 4 chapters. What would you do first? What do you do first? Get the books. Which books? Standard books, NCERT, class notes. First and the foremost thing is class notes. You get it ready. 2, the standard book. If there is a NCERT, you get that as well. However, do not start studying right away. Before this, you are supposed to engage in one more exercise. What is that exercise? Meditation. No. What is it you are supposed to do before this? PYQ. Ensure that you have gone through the PYQs of all the chapters that are mentioned. First and the foremost thing, after the test, get the things ready. See, you have to have a plan. Like, tomorrow I have these targets. These are the books I am going to refer to. It's fixed. I will not go beyond these books. Kind of questions that have been asked, I don't care. These are the sources. It's fixed. I am not going to change it. So, national income accounting from the notes and the text. And then you have what? Poverty and unemployment from the notes and the text. Same thing with, so you have standard sources. Once these things are ready, once these things are fixed, then you go to the PYQs. So where do you study the PYQs from? Where do you study it from? Where do you study it from? The problem is everywhere you have year-wise. Yes? Topic-wise. Do you have the access to the platform? Yes? Where you watch the recordings and all? Yeah? There you have the PYQ section as well. Chapter-wise sections you have. Do you have it have you checked or not? Not checked. Check now, it's available. PYQs of last 20 years, topic-wise it is there. Okay. First go through those topics and the PYQs. First do it. How much time would it take? Probably 25-30 minutes. Not many questions would be there. See, it feels like a very big task, but not many questions will be there. Why? Because when we are creating the test, how do we create it? For 4 chapters, we have to create 50 questions. Correct? UPSC has to give how many questions in these 4 chapters? Probably 1 each, maybe. That's it. Right? So, on a yearly basis, when I check, when I accumulate all the questions from the last 10-20 years, even then the number of questions will be very, very less. So, this is going to be the key. By the time you go to your prelims examination, mark this, by the time you go to the prelims examination, the PYQs, you should have gone through them at least 3 times. You would not even know it, but this is your guiding light. This is your guide, a proper guide. Subconsciously, it makes you think in a language that is different from the textbook. Subconsciously, it is going to make you understand the textbook in a different manner, the notes in a different manner, the areas of focus is going to slowly change even as you go through the PYQs second time. The way you look at the notes, the textbook, it's going to change. Your brain will tell you, okay, this paragraph, it's useless. Now, sir, can you not help us mark out the paragraphs which are not useful? That would be too much. That would be too much. Why? Because even if we help you with that, what would happen is you would mark out, but when you study, you'll still not be able to understand one paragraph in a page and another paragraph in the next page. There would be no connect. Understood? So this is the second thing, and then you study. Then you study from this, which areas to study, which areas not to study in each of the chapters, problem areas in each of the chapters. That's something the faculty is going to discuss with you. Okay. Now, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is done. So we go with the same plan. So briefing would be done, targets would be discussed, any doubts in those chapters, you make a list of them, right? So you would be knowing, right? You would be clearly knowing. So even here, when you come to the class, when you sit down, you can make a list. The moment the faculty mentions the chapter, okay, if I mention national income accounting, you would be having in the back of your head, okay, this part I had not understood. Get it clarified. Okay. So once this is done, till Friday, from Friday till end of Saturday, you are free. Correct? Sunday, you have a revision test. Yes? So, Saturday and Friday, both days you are free. No briefing, nothing. On these 2 days, what will I do? This is another place where you can, another point in time where you can utilize the time for what? Whatever topics you might have missed. 4 chapters were the target. You have mastered only 2 chapters or 3 chapters. Again, you got time here. Time mila ki nahi? So everybody keeps asking, sir, so many targets, how to cover? This is how you cover. Go with a regimen of people who do not have the classes. You go with a regimen of 10 hours per day. People who have the classes, you go with a 11 to 12 hours regimen. You have to go with it. So if you are having much more ability, you can stretch this number as well. People who are superhumans can study 16 hours as well. So that is superhuman ability. And I'm sure people who study for 16 hours will usually get less marks than the person who studies 10 hours. That also I can be sure of. Okay. So over a period of time I'm talking about. right? Okay, on Sunday, the test day, the larger test. On that day also, your target is to get the answers right only for the chapters that you have mastered. And usually on Saturday test, you're going to have slightly easier questions. Why slightly easier questions? One thing is you have the background knowledge already, you have studied, you have taken the test, you have read the explanations as well. You're not going to get the same questions. The questions will be different. But you have a beforehand knowledge of sort. And if you ask me, sir, which metric should I take for me to check where I stand? I would not say, daily test can be a metric for you. I would say a weekend test is a better metric to check where you stand. Because in 4 chapters, I have to create 50 questions. But by weekend, probably from 20 chapters, I have to create 100 questions. When from 20 chapters, I am creating 100 questions, the number of questions from each chapter will be lesser. Usually, the number of questions will be lesser. So the questions will be broader, they will be broad-based. They will not be very, very particular. That comes close to the lines of how UPSC prepares the questions. So we can consider the weekend test to be a better metric of where you stand rather than the daily tests. Understood? So daily test scores, do not worry much at all. Weekend test score, you have to worry from when? After sticking to this program for at least 2 months. For 2 months, you stick to this program. Do not miss even a single test. After 2 months, you have to start worrying about the scores that you get in the weekend. Till that point, no. Clear? I'll give you a very, very good example, rather than an example, anecdote of a person from last year. On the same date, I guess it was on 6th, I guess. Last year we started on 6th, the Edge program. I got 3 students. So 2 girl students, 1 boy student. They came in and told me one thing. Ki, sir, till now, they had started the preparation in the month of March, previous year. So they had 9 long months. But the good thing about them was that they came and told me that they accepted the fact that they were not studying from day one. Okay. How many of you accept it now? Complete. Okay. So that is like 95% of the class. So you have not been studying from day one. When did you start? How many of you say that, sir, I started preparing, I have started studying only from, I have started studying only after 15 days. From 15 days, you have very, very consistent. How many of you are like that? 15 days later, classes started, 15 days or 20 days. Soon after that, I became very serious, sir. I have been studying since then. 15 to 20 days. First 15, 20 days were like, just like that. Took it easy. How many of you say 2 months later? After 2 months, you became serious? 3 people, 4 people. How many of you became serious after 3, 4 months? 4 months ke baad? 4 months. Enlightenment after 4 months. How many of you are thinking to become serious from now on? Now on. Ab se serious banna hai. So when did you start your preparation? Properly. Day one? Day one you have been... So it has reduced. Now, it does not matter what you have done so far. What matters is what you do from now on. See, very simple logic is that this is the destination. For some people, the starting point is this. They have started already. For some people, where is the starting point? The starting point is here. These people have started already. You are behind. Yes, some of the people are behind. Some people are way behind. Some people, S is still not there. For some people, S is still not there. So they are in the oblivion somewhere. They have to start now. No matter what you do, to reach the destination, to reach this point, we have to progress on the same line. Yes, we have to progress on the same line. If we have to progress on the same line, we have to start somewhere. Without starting, we can't just keep saying to ourselves, we have not started, 6 months happened, I have not done anything, 3 months happened, I have not done anything, last 1 year I wasted. Will it help you move along this line in any way? So stop thinking about the past, think only about the future. ऐसा नहीं होना है कि 1 month later, sir, I will think about the future 1 month later. ऐसा नहीं होना है. So you have to start thinking now, start doing now. This is a very, very good opportunity you are going to get to pick up the pieces, that you have created for yourself, the fragmentations that are there. In your preparation, you can change it. I'm telling you, you can change it. A very good opportunity. It's just that be very, very consistent. Very, very consistent. Like a clock or like a machine. Every day, this is my work. I'll do this. Outcome, I don't care. Nishkama karma. Very simple. So this is the work I have for tomorrow. I'll try to do it efficiently. If I'm not able to complete, fine. At least you have put the effort. Yes? 2 months, I can challenge you. You are going to tell that there is a lot of change. You would not have done it if not for this. It's just that it is a mindset. अब देखिए, you know cricket. Cricket में there are many players. Virat Kohli is different. Why is he different? Mindset. It's the mindset. है कि नहीं? So not everyone can be Virat Kohli. That's too much. But you can have the mindset for different things. So for this examination also you need a mindset. Have patience. Do not expect results immediately. See, if you are expecting the results immediately, then you should also have a guarantee that you have put the efforts previously. If you have not put the efforts previously and expecting the results, that is not fair. You are not supposed to expect the results as well. That is wrong. So if you have not put the effort so far, start putting it from now. Expect the results after 2 months maybe. Clear? Now, anything else you want to ask? CSAT related, you are going to have the CSAT tests as well, right? Which are going to be included. And the LEAP series is going to continue as is. You need not continue with the LEAP series. If some of you were taking the LEAP series in the weekend, right? There were some tests which were happening on the weekend. You can stop it completely. You can put a break on it. Ab se, only the Edge series will go on for you guys. Other people who are taking the LEAP can continue with LEAP. So you will not be allowed for LEAP. So if you are coming for LEAP, only LEAP. Right? And people who have more time, sir, I have done everything. From day one I am running, I have done everything. So whatever targets you are giving, they are minuscule. Right? So they are very, very simple targets for me. What to do in the rest of the time? What are you going to do in the rest of the time? What will you do? If you feel like taking more tests, my suggestion is choose any of the institute paper maybe. Just read through it. Don't try to solve it. Solve mat kijiye, read through it. How to read through it? So you have the question and the explanation. Question padhiye, answer it right away. Right? In your head you answer it. Like A is the solution. Check the answer. Immediately read through. This consumes less amount of time. Okay, on the paper itself you have marked. So for your satisfaction, you can count the score as well towards the end. So it saves a lot of time. Instead of you taking the test, then analyzing it, checking the score, it takes more time. It would probably take, when you do that way, taking the test for 2 hours. After that, you do the answer key checking. That would take another probably some 15-20 minutes. After that, analyzing the paper, that would take another 1.5 hour. So it would be an exercise which spans around 4 hours. Instead of that, what you can do? You can do what? Just look at the question, answer it right away, check the answer, then the explanation. This would consume somewhere around 2.5 hours time. Within 2.5 hours, you will be able to get it done with. Okay. And on Sunday, because you only have one test, right, initially, what are you going to do the rest of the time? What are you going to do the rest of the time? Sir, free. I want to be free. Huh? So the test and answers, you can stick to that part. Okay, the test and answers, you can stick to that part. So extra test, if you want to see, you can check, or PYQs you can go through. Clear? Now tell me, what else you want to ask? So many people had told, sir, we have certain doubts. So doubts related to anything, you can ask me. Briefing is going to be at 9:30. 9:30. So 8:30 you have the test every day. 8:30 to 9:30 test, 9:30 to 10:30 briefing. Classes will resume at 10:30. So whosoever have the classes, they have the class at 10:30. Next. No. This is the briefing. So you have some doubts related to Indian economy, you can ask. I'd be okay with that. Yes, sir.
Something regarding CSAT. So, there are a few chapters, which are they're taught in the class, but not able to get a grasp of it, get a hold of it. So, how do we?
Like what chapters?
Number system.
Number system. Okay.
So, how do we manage such chapters? Because this is very important.
So, how many of you find number systems difficult? Number system. Too difficult? How many questions do you get from number system? 15 to 20 questions from number system. Is the entire chapter difficult or certain areas? Certain areas only. So I'll have a word with the faculty to handle the class again, right? So probably clarify the doubts. Make a list of all the doubts first, right? Whichever areas you find the difficulty, make a list of them, right? So you're going to have some class. So in the briefing session itself, they will be able to resolve them.
And some classes happen from Wednesday. Some classes happen from 9 to 10. So at that time we'll be having the
No, there will be no overlap, right? For example, if you are in the Edge series, there would be no clash of class for you. Clashing of classes would not happen. You need not worry about that. Scheduling will be done accordingly. Okay, you are not going to miss a class. That will be ensured. That you need not worry. And when it comes to CSAT, how many of you have taken the test already of the last 3 years papers? Last 3 year papers, have you taken the test? CSAT paper? CSAT last 3 years. One person. Anyone else who has taken it? You have taken? You? Yes? Anyone else? 2 years. Or 2 years is also fine. Now, 2 years you have taken? Okay. What was the score? Was it above 80 in both the papers or 3 papers? Anyone who scored over 80? English comprehension. Okay. Not even a single person over 80. One paper over 80. Now, this is the metric you are going to have. Last 3 years papers or 2 years papers, if you score over 80, then you need not prepare for CSAT separately. Just take the test. Just take the test. Be happy with it. Now, people who have not taken, I think 95% of the people have not taken it. Take these two tests in a time-bound manner within 2 hours. So, 2025 CSAT paper and 2024 CSAT paper. Both 25 and 24. You take it. If you score over 80, then do not worry much about CSAT. Clear? Yes, do it first. See, once you do it, think about it, half the exam is done. Half the day of exam is done. You can be very, very comfortable inside. Clear? So rest of the time you can spend only on GS. Yes. So do this first. So within the next 2 weeks, this Sunday you are free. Half day you will be free. Take these tests. Just take these tests, 25 and 24. So no need to prepare before that. Just take the test like that. Don't do revision or anything. Just take the test like that. See where you stand. If you, in both of the tests, if you score over 80, be happy. No need to prepare for that. Okay. Next.
Sir, maybe I missed this part. I was not there. So it's about the routine, like each day, right? After the class, when we go home, we usually take around 2.5 to 3 hours of time to just to revise and read the topics that are there, read from the text or something. And apart from that, there will be it's hard to find time to revise.
6 hours you have class, correct? What is the regimen I suggested for the people who have the class? How many hours? Plus 6 hours. 12 hours. You have to do it. So for the targets, you have to spend somewhere around 3 to 3.5 hours, 4 hours maybe, right? So you have to be very, very efficient now. You have to factor in every single minute that's there for your preparation. And when it comes to current affairs, do not worry about current affairs. For the next 1.5 to 2 months, do not worry about it. Just go with the targets. If you are finding time, then what you can do is Hindu newspaper and Indian Express. The usual routine that you are doing. What is the routine that you are following for Hindu newspaper, and are you having a routine about it? What is the routine? Editorials you read, edits and explained every single day. This is your start of the day, or just before coming to the class. When you come and sit here, just read through it. So this is a routine. I would not consider this to be a part of your preparation. Remember this. This is personality development. Why? Because it is a routine. It is part of a personality development. It is going to contribute to your communication skills or understanding what the paper says, the official language. Just for that purpose. It is for linguistic ability, linguistic proficiency. You are going to do this. This is not part of it is not going to contribute to getting extra score. It's going to help you understand. In that way, indirectly, it will help you score. Current affairs. If you have extra time after meeting the targets, any extra time you have, there are certain areas that you need to focus on. Current affairs is one. Which is the other area? Anything else you have to study? That's all. Current affairs. Optional. 2 areas. Okay. And then you have essay and then ethics. Sir, why did you factor in these things? We were happy so far. Somehow we could have managed. Why did you remind us of these things? I reminded you because it's important. It's very, very important. You keep in touch with this. It's understandable. This it's understandable. This you need not do a lot of work. Probably monthly once or weekly, 2 weeks once. If you are writing one essay, it's fine. That's fine. Ethics, optional. Current affairs. What to do about this part? You're too early. What to do about these things? How will we manage time? What to do about that? Is there any other way we can find time for these things?
Friday to Sunday.
Friday to Sunday time is there. Friday, Saturday you have on that day, any one of the days, dedicate 2 hours for this. Every single week. Somehow get 1.5 hours to 2 hours time for ethics only. Study the theory or solve the case studies. Anything related to ethics, you should be in touch. Clear? For the people who have completed the syllabus or near completion, for those people, optional, on a daily basis, 1 hour or 1 hour 30 minutes on a daily basis. For people who have completed the syllabus on a daily basis. Remaining time is for your targets. Understood? Current affairs is already factored in your what? The Edge program. So after I meet the target for the day, I have 1.5 hours dedicated for my optional, or so as to speak, I have 12 hours or 10 hours for people who have completed the syllabus. 1.5 hours I'll study the optional. I'm still left with how many hours? 8.5 hours. That's a lot of time. 8.5 hours is like too much. If you give it to the people who are still running with the classes, right, they would embrace it like gold. Yes, for the people who are still having the classes. For people who have completed, see, this is where it makes a huge difference when you start early, when you start a bit late. The last 1 month, you are going to feel it much more. The last 1 month, the feeling that you get is that, wish I had started it on day 1. Because that position is like this. That point where you have 1 month, you are 1 month away from the examination, you have accumulated knowledge, right? You feel like I have studied so much. It feels good, but I can't remember properly. For remembering, you want to revise. Then you look at the time, you try to plan it. There's not enough time. And when you are 15 days away from the examination, this also happens. What happens? 15 days away from the examination, you have revised. Now you sit one fine day, hey, today I am going to plan the revision for the next 15 days. Right? You plan it, 15 days revision. You have dedicated 2 days for Indian polity. 2 days or 3 days for Indian polity. You start day 1, polity you started. Now you are getting new insights because this is the second time or third time you are studying polity. You are getting new insights. You are understanding the subject from a very different perspective now. Third revision, hai na? You are getting a very different perspective. Now, because you are getting a very new perspective, your study pace slows down because a new perspective is getting formed. So your target was 3 days. 3 days later when you check, or on the second day, end of second day, you are still in Parliament chapter. Revision. Now third day when you wake up, you decide, I'll just skim through the pages. You skim through the pages. Still it is not over. Then decide, this is not going to be possible. Let me, replan it. Okay, this is pretty normal for everyone. It is pretty normal for everyone. That is why I told you to prioritize the areas. That is why when you stick to the program, you will be running at a particular pace. There will be at least 3 revisions happening. 3 revisions. Sir, we had 6 months, we were not able to complete once. You are saying 3 revisions. How is it even possible? With prioritizing, it is possible. Only with prioritizing. Clear? Next doubt. So many people, only these many doubts, 2-3 doubts. Online people, you ask the doubts. Anything?
Okay, on current affairs,
Huh.
as of now, we are not too much into current affairs, not even reading the articles. Okay?
Why not editorials and explain?
Then I just read the bulletin points. That's my
Okay.
uh,
Huh.
for the next 2 months, he said not to go to it. After 2 months, should we take like a monthly
Monthly
magazine?
magazine. Go with the monthly magazine.
And then just stick to it.
Yes, monthly magazine or the weekly ones which you get. Right. I would suggest you to go with monthly. Monthly is sufficient. Okay.
That is
I'll tell you one thing. ये है कि current affairs का game. The game of current affairs. You get 30 questions. Think about it. How bad this game is. Current affairs game is very, very bad. That's what I feel. 30 questions you get. And out of 30 questions, let's assume there is this person. For him, I'll give all the year to study only current affairs. Entire year, only current affairs. 12 months he has studied current affairs. For this person, what I tell her is that 11 months or 10 months, you study only static. Don't even touch current affairs. Okay, 10 months she has studied only static. Last 2 months I tell her, do one thing. On a daily basis, you have 10 hours to study. 5 hours you study current affairs. 5 hours you revise static. Clear? 12 months are done. 2 months she has done this exercise. 12 months are done. This person has studied 12 months of current affairs. Now, we'll give a test on UPSC style current affairs of last 1 year. UPSC style, not SSC style. Okay, UPSC style current affairs for both of them. Who do you think will ace it? The person who studied for 2 months will ace it. 2 months of current affairs, who studied for only 2 months will ace it. This person knows all the 30 questions. See, the difference is this. 30 questions mein, the person who has studied for 12 months knows all the 30 questions. Like this one, I know it. This one, I know it. On the other hand, this person would be probably knowing because she had less time. She would be knowing hardly 20 questions. 10 questions, it does not even make sense to her. But out of 20, she'll be able to get 10, 12 right. This person, while knowing all the 30, will still be finding it difficult to get 10 right. ये difference है. This is the difference. Clear? The static knowledge becomes a guide to getting some of your current affairs right. It is easy to claim what? Current affairs have come from here. It's easy to claim. But when I say nanoparticles have been in news, I have given some material. In the material, nanoparticles news was there. I'll tell directly, hey, nanoparticles, I had given you already. But what UPSC does, nanoparticles related 3 statements it has given. 1 statement it is there in what I gave you. 2 statements are nowhere found. Now, my claim is wrong. Topic I have told you. But with the topic and the content I have given you, will you be able to solve the question is the important stuff. So, 30 questions have come from Hindu newspaper. It will come. All 30 questions will come from Hindu newspaper. Why? Because somewhere they would have mentioned. But the statements that they have given, are they available? Where are they taking it from? Sometimes they take it from very odd websites. Free website. Somebody has done some research. Right? So ongoing research, they have put an abstract. From the abstract, they have taken a statement. Now it is fairly impossible to imagine that a student will be able to study from those sources. Wikipedia, what? I think you had to scroll down 6 times to get the statement that they had given, the veracity of the statement, whether that statement is right or wrong. We were not able to find anywhere. No website, no material, nowhere it was found. It was a current affairs topic. And laser related statement they had given. It was in probably 4th or 5th scroll of Wikipedia page. Now, do we expect you to study Wikipedia? विकिपीडिया कैसे पढ़ सकते हैं अब बताइए? That to fourth, fifth page, it's fairly impossible. So we have to become a bit practical here. So the practicality of it is what? Very simple. We'll focus on static, where there is a high chance that we are going to get most of them right. And when your static is strong, your current affairs automatically look easier. And sir, then why are people studying current affairs so much? They study current affairs so much because when you go to the examination, you go with confidence. It is just that confidence. I have studied current affairs. That's it. और कुछ नहीं है. I have studied. I'm not asking you to not study current affairs. You study current affairs because that gives you immense confidence. Right? See, 30 questions, when you look at it and you feel like all 30 questions, I don't know anything. That brings down your confidence level a great deal. On the other hand, the feeling that I know some of these, that feeling is different. Just for that reason, you have to study current affairs. And when you study current affairs, it's going to be useful for your mains examination as well. Okay. So current affairs के लिए time कहाँ पे देंगे? People who have completed the syllabus, you can get the time in a day. People who have still ongoing classes, for you wait for what? The tests to start. Current affairs tests, when they start, you just run with them. Right? Next.
So where can we find next test target? I could not find any of the WhatsApp groups.
So Edge is not shared with you. So you just check with the front desk. Okay, they'll share it with you. Might be they have missed it for one group.
At least we can expect in 2 months we can get that 10 hours stuff for ourselves after calculating.
So at least for last 2 months, will you be able to get or not?
By the end of February or start.
So which batch are you from? G. Highly likely. By end of March. It will be done. Not end of March, mid of March. Mid-March, it will be done. Anything else? H6 batch people? And there is J6 as well, J6 people. What about you? Where do you stand as of now?
is going on. Quality completed.
I have to take classes as well. Ethics classes there. Okay. So I'll be handling one part of ethics. So the other part of ethics will be handled by the other faculty. Okay. That's it. Everything else is done.
Only those three are polity, economy, and geography.
Okay.
History is going on. Society is yet to be taken up. And there is IR world history are not yet started. Ethics is still.
So it would take end of March. End of March for you. J6 would be late, but see, our idea is that we have to ensure that the syllabus is complete by the time you go to prelims. Okay. It does not serve any purpose if we are not completing the syllabus by the time you go to prelims. It does not make any sense. Because even if we take the certain topics, even the splinter topics after the prelims examination, it really does not serve any purpose. If you have to have a chance in this examination, you should have in the back of your head that I have read everything before prelims itself. Even for mains examination, I have read it. That's the mindset you need to have. So that, for that to happen, we should complete the syllabus, right? So it is going to be difficult for the people who have started late, but practically I will tell you one thing. People who have come for H6, J6, not G6. H6 and J6 people, practically speaking, your target should be to clear prelims examination this year. Worry less about mains examination. Practically. Okay. So A6 people, right? आपका टारगेट क्या होगा? पूरा एग्जाम होगा. So your target is not going to be just prelims. Now, a word of caution for everyone. if you stick to every single day of this schedule, if you stick to every single day of your schedule, this schedule, edge schedule, and when you give the examination without any sort of distress, like you are not getting startled on the exam day, not coming under pressure, without pressure, you go to the examination and give the examination. Nothing bad happens on that day, right? Hopefully for anyone. In that state of mind, if you go and give the examination, and CSAT we will leave aside, I'll not take this into consideration. The general studies part, after sticking to what, 4.5 months of class, sorry, 4.5 months of preparation, proper preparation, out of 200, when you check your scores, irrespective of when you have started, last January, maybe later February, March, maybe in the month of August as well, right? If your score falls above 65 plus, stick to the preparation. If it falls below 65, reconsider preparation. I am being plain honest. But conditions are very important. What are the conditions I am telling you? Every single day from today onwards, you are sticking to the plan, you are doing the things I have told you on a daily basis, and also, what else? On the exam day, you have gone to the examination without pressure. Because many times it so happens, that we have prepared really well. On exam day, something happens. Something. You get flustered, right? You come under immense pressure, you are not able to breathe properly, right? All these things happen. You are not able to find the exam center.
And we tend to forget to bring our admit card.
Admit card you forget. Right? You are supposed to carry your Aadhaar card as well. Yes? Something you have done. You need a, black pen. Yes, you have taken a different colored pen. You wanted your lucky pen to be the day. Lucky pen is stolen. See, we think. So we are beings who think. So lucky pen tha, you had saved it for the exam day itself. On that very day, you lost it. That becomes such a thing for you कि you think only negative stuff. You come under immense pressure. So hopefully no such things happen. And there is no break in your preparation for the next 4.5 months. If all of these things run properly, and if you cross 65, then what am I saying? You can give yourself another chance. After doing all these things, if it still falls below 60, you love UPSC, UPSC does not love you. बस उतना ही है. So I'm telling you this because I don't want anyone to waste time. ठीक है? Sir, ये कैसा बात हुआ? You should help us. यही help है. This is the help. At any point in time, you want any sort of guidance, right? Anything you want to ask related to time management. For every individual, it is going to be different. For some people, they are traveling a lot, want to travel a lot, what to do, right? So how to utilize the time, or there are certain areas, which we are really weak in. What am I supposed to do about it? So you can meet the mentors, you can meet me, right? Get them sorted. Online people, they have also asked some questions. So what about current affairs magazine? It is difficult to remember so much. What about it is difficult to remember so much. क्या करें? बताइए. Why is it difficult to remember current affairs? There is no link between what we are studying in current affairs and the static. That link is not formed. The day you are able to form that link, Current affairs is like you take it, you fix it there. As far as my understanding goes, current affairs is like if I read one entire topic of current affairs with a strong knowledge base of static, I would think not more than 4 5 points, even if it is a very new current affair, not more than 4 5 points would be required for you to remember, until and unless it is a very new scheme. नया scheme है तो ज़्यादा content होगा, otherwise not much to remember. For everything there is a template, and current affairs are like this. Whatever happens in these 6 months, it kind of repeats after that. You check if you want. Even international relations are like that. Something happens in international relations now, 6 months later, similar thing happens, but in a different country. Right? We sign a trade deal now with one country. In a trade deal, these are all the provisions. 6 months later, we signed another trade deal, pretty much the same provisions, small changes. Concepts are the same. We sign FTA. FTA is the same. You have the conceptual understanding. It's just the country has changed and small changes have been made based on the agreements we have, based on the strengths and weaknesses of both the countries. Understood? So the concept of FTA will remain the same. The concept of SEPA will remain the same. SEPA, you know? SEPA, SECA, not it? IR, SEPA, SECA, those people will be knowing. Okay. Yes? Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. SECA? Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Agreement. Cooperation Agreement. ठीक है. So, this is how you approach current affairs. If you are the answer writing for optional, sir, answer writing for optional and GS. What are you supposed to do? I gave you time for optional every day, correct? उस टाइम में एक आंसर लिखिए, उसी टाइम में one answer per day, get it evaluated without fail. Without fail, get it evaluated. If you are not getting the feedback, whatever work you are doing is next to almost useless. I don't want to call it useless because you have put in effort. So next to almost useless, because you have to get feedback for the first 70 to 80 answers at least. First 70 to 80 answers. After that you can do it. So the first 70, 80 answers you write, you have to get the feedback. Sir, till what point should we continue our touch with optional? Till end of March. Till end of March. Keep yourself in touch with both ethics and your optional. Even if you are dedicating less amount of time, it's fine. But keep in touch with these things. Clear? Yes? Anything else? Online people? Offline people? That's it. Okay.
So,
Yes.
so like, as we have these daily targets for the Edge test series, we're supposed to start with the PYQs and then the preparatory part. So along with PYQs, do we have to do the CMTs that we have listed?
No,
of those
not
particular
required.
topics?
CMT is not required.
Would that help us in any way?
No. CMT is not required because that would eat your time. Okay, don't worry about it. So solve the PYQs, cover the portions. If you are still left with time, you can go with the CMTs. But CMT is not the priority. CMTs are supposed to be solved soon after the class. Right? Soon after your class is done on a particular chapter, you are supposed to solve it then. So any which ways, CMT like stuff is going to be done in Edge. The very next day you have 50 questions. So there's no point in doing it until and unless you have extra time. After all the things I have told you, still if you are left with time, you can do CMTs. I think it would not be possible. Right? Practically it's not possible. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Lekya.
So there are some doubts asked in the chat box.
Okay. Where's the chat box? They have asked only 4, no? Okay, okay, that was Sir, how to start with ethics as for our batch classes? Today it will be starting. So when will the classes end for H6? H6 people who are here? You are from H6. So when will the syllabus end for you? Any idea? Mid-March. Mid-March lagega. See, we are not cutting down on the classes. That's the problem. So we are not rushing through the classes. So whatever number of hours have been given to the previous batches, we are trying to give the same number of hours for you as well. So if we rush, yes, it's possible to cover, but we don't want to do it. And then, sir, do you think along with PYQ, CMT is not required? Then, sir, when will the classes for, okay. Okay, done. That's it. All the very best. Josh nahi hai? All the very best. Okay, will you take this pledge? You are going to stick with the preparation? A pledge, a promise to yourself from within, no matter what happens. For the next 5 months, 4.5, 5 months, I am going to stick to this. Every single day, no matter what the return. Work. See, you have started this preparation thinking that you are going to clear this examination. If you don't trust yourself, you can't expect others to trust you. If you don't have belief in yourself, you can't expect others to believe you. So you should have that belief within yourself that you are going to do it. For that, work is important. Effort dalo. Let's see what happens next. Any kind of assistance you need, right? So we are planning this. Ki people who are coming for the offline regularly. So we are going to have the faculty visiting at times. So we'll allow you to sit in a particular classroom and study there itself. So it will take some time, but we are going to make an arrangement for that. Okay. So initial 3-4 weeks, you try to study in the study center the entire day. After that, we'll make a setting where you are going to sit in one place and study. Okay. So then faculty will be able to visit at times, check on you, right? Midway, if you are getting the doubts can be clarified. Now you can come to the faculty and get them sorted. Okay, clear? All right. Thank you, online people. Thank you very much. Can I take it that you don't have any doubts in the first 4 chapters? No doubts? National income accounting, money banking, and then you have inflation. No doubts. Absolutely. कुछ बताओ? Everybody, no doubts? Absolutely? Pakka? Then fine. Thank you.